The oldest we got. Oh, I didn't see Jack back there. Not much
Coach, how are we doing?
Not much better difference between you and Jack. We got.
I'm better looking than Jack.
You are?
Well, what'd you like? What you didn't like?
I mean, I thought, I liked defensively we got to get better. I mean, that's obvious. You get as a coach, you come out, you're never happy walking off because one phase of it didn't play quite as well. But we'll be fine on defense. We had some guys who didn't play for a reason, and we were doing a couple things. But I thought offensively we made plays. I thought the receivers may have made more plays today than they catching the ball down the field, and that was good to see. And again, some of those younger kids, as I talked about yesterday, I was anxious to see them when we got off the field and let them play, and they reacted pretty well.
How much
What's the biggest thing you learned tonight, Doc?
Well, you put these guys out in this situation and not being out there with them, but you see the young kids, you see the Yuricheks, the Gator Greens, Angela Jean Louise, you see all those guys. The Pittman, I thought, has gotten better, and you just see them continue to improve and get better. And normally the really good players make plays, and they made some plays today, which is great to see. And I thought even Gunner, you could see the growth in him, which is important because we got to develop a quarterback back up to.
How much did it help getting the officials out there today to work?
I think it's huge. It's great, and they're all bitching to me because I didn't call the sack, so they got the officials out there now. But they're good. It was nice to see those guys because they could see how the secondary was playing with their hands and that type of thing. And that's a good crew. And I was glad to get them out here so we could actually get a game feel out of the officials.
We're wondering if the secondary had gotten by with a little bit much in practice, and they got busted
a couple times today early, yeah. And they were getting by with a little bit in practice. But you know what our league, and I love the way our officials call in our league. And it's a train wreck. They kind of let you play. So for the most part, I thought it was pretty clean for a first scrimmage with officials, and it wasn't. There's a couple things that we need to clean up. But I thought for the most part it was pretty clean.
Were there any players that jumped out at you tonight that above others that hadn't maybe jumped out before?
I think I've seen most of them. I think Angelo Jean Louise is making plays. I thought Devontae Allen has continued. They all stepped up and made plays. I saw Craig Wilkins make a play down the field, which was great to see. And Devin Johnson, I think he's got a home there. I mean, I like where he runs the ball. He's great protection. And, with him, a combination of him, Stu, Remy, and the young Pittman kid, and we get Bird back, I think we'll be fine tailback. So, I like what I see. The one thing about having a couple offensive linemen banged up, which should be back early next week, is giving some of them young offensive linemen a lot of work, and so that'll help us down the road with depth. And it's good to see most of Cody Collins is go in, and Mendelson's gotten him played an awful lot of football for us, so I think that'll be beneficial for us down the road.
How happy were you to get some yardage despite having 3 linemen down?
We had some guys down, but they didn't have Rouse in there and some guys either, so there's a little bit of a trade-off there. But it's good. I mean, those guys, they're good enough to play, and we're going. It's a long season, it's a tough game, and at some point, they're going to be counted on to go play.
Do you sometimes see guys react differently once it's kind of a scrimmage situation than just a normal practice?
Not normally. The bottom line is we practice. When you watch us practice, they go hard. I mean, we haven't had a day. I told them after practice we haven't had a day. I guess it's day number 10. I don't know how many practices we've had, but I know we've been here 2 weeks now, and we haven't had a day yet that I can honestly walk off here and didn't feel we had great effort and great enthusiasm and work extremely hard. And it's just critical we come back Monday and do the same thing. That's the way we practice, and that's why we're getting better football team.
How much do you think the way that the young receivers have played has motivated the older, the veteran receivers to play to kind of increase their level of play, kind of like what you're seeing tonight?
Well, I don't think there's any doubt. And the same thing with the offense. You got Jaspers and all those guys helping those young offensive linemen around. And these guys have all played a lot of football. They were relatively young until this year. Devontae Allen's now a junior and he's playing well. Tommy's a senior being in there, and some of those young guys are talented. Some of those young freshmen have stepped up and played. And it's good to see them. And Demetrius Evans is playing his best football right now in the slot. So we got a couple older guys that are leading the way for those guys and they're playing well.
How comforting is it for you as a coaching staff to see guys that you all called out in the offseason, the Devontae Allens, the Remy Watsons, they're doing the things that you asked them to do in the offseason?
No, there's no doubt. I mean, during spring ball, we talked about guys that had to step it up and really challenged those guys. We challenged the receivers in particular, and they've met that challenge along with some newcomers and the backup offensive line we talked about. We challenged those guys. You see them continue to get better. So I think the guys that we need to step up have done so, and we just got to continue to make sure that happens.
What's the schedule for the rest of the weekend for you all, and what are you all going to do with your meetings tomorrow that's going to lead into game prep?
Well, we won't be totally in the game prep yet, but we lift tomorrow just like we do on a normal Sunday. Our Sundays after a game is kind of what we got going tomorrow. We'll lift offense and defense. We'll all go in the weight room and lift 8:30, 10, and 11. And then from there, we'll have our meetings. We'll knock out this film, and we'll have a little fun with them tomorrow evening. We've got some entertainment coming in for them, have a little fun, get our meetings knocked out, and come back Monday ready to go to work.
How important is it for these guys to decompress a little bit when they've been beating on each other for 2 weeks?
I mean, it's good, but they, I liked our schedule today because we walked out of here like 6:30 last night. So they had like 24 hours off before they came back and did scrimmage here tonight. So I thought that helped us a little bit with the two-a-day yesterday because we didn't back off at all with that two-a-day and came back tonight. And I thought their energy was good. I thought they played extremely hard, and it was good to see.
You all going to look tomorrow and into Monday at removing the stripes off some of these guys that can advance and guys
I
like
talked
that?
about that. We'll probably start that a little bit on Sunday, and there's a couple of them I think that deserve it, and so we'll get those guys and start doing that a little bit. That's up to it's up to the team. And if a group comes to me and tells me they're one of their position group, then we'll vote on it, and they'll either get voted in or they'll get voted out. So we'll see how it goes.
Thanks, Doug.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, guys.